Here's a quick video on how you use Adobe Spark to get your final draft. You may use another app of your choice, maybe Notability, but ensure that you have all the elements. It might be easier to use Adobe Draw since we have our rough draft in there already, and I'll show you some shortcuts. So you'll start by creating a new layer to put your final draft. So I've done that right here, and you're also able to name your layer. So that way you can have more meaning than just image or draw layers. So I have that selected. Now I'm going to choose a tool of a ruler. I'm going to also select a pen and maybe just a different color for effect here, since I've already done a lot of lines on this sketch. So I'm using the ruler tool, which is a guide to draw straight lines. So I will do that for my items here. And so I'll also do this to the north indicator. My other straight edges would be the edge of the table. Your sketch has to be to scale, so we are also going to get the scale indicator. The ruler is a pretty handy tool. And then the other item was the scale. So here's my ruler, and currently the square is a little larger than it needs to be in the grid. So I'm going to edit the grid by pinching in and getting it as close as possible. Now you can't slide it around, so you might have to be looking at the ½ inch mark. Bring my ruler back up so that I can draw some straight edges. Let's see how that looks. Got a few messy lines here that I can take out. And now what is missing are a few images. I created my title blocks and the legend over in Adobe Spark Post, but you may use other picture creation tools, even Pages and Numbers can do this. I've already started, but I'll show you how you can easily type some text in here. You can start with a blank page, and you can click on the plus and add some text. You're basically getting the text in there, and then you can format it. So you can add your own text, and when you hit the done, you can then resize it. It's a pretty cool app for you to make different posts for social media or even for a presentation. You are going to hit the export button up in the top corner here, and transparent will take out the colored background. So I can try that, and then save image. Then you can go over to your camera roll. Here is the new image that I just created, and I can click edit. Editing like this. So for example, I saved these 3 just to show you how I took the one photo and slice it up into 3 pieces. If you were to have the original with all your text, it would have to be in the right place. So it might be easier to have 3 separate pictures, but one picture could work if you've designed it correctly. One thing I noticed with my sketch is that I forgot to get the objects in there. I have them as number 1 and 2, but you can see that my lines really go nowhere. So if I bring the picture back, you can see that I had missed placing the shapes. And I noticed this just a bit ago, that these are in the wrong place. So I'm going to delete them and add them once I have my shapes in there. So I want to put my shapes on my final draw, but I also need to have my picture available, like of my sketch. So I am going to bring in the shape of a circle. And what I've done is change the shape of the circle. Okay, not too bad. So just make sure everything is neat like a final draft should. Be aware that my lines are connecting right to the edge of the table. And I don't have a title block yet, and I don't have the legend. So that's what we're doing next. So I'm going to go to Pictures. And I found out that if I just click and hold and copy this, Adobe Spark has a quick way of making a picture layer, an image layer, with pasting an image, the last item there. And what I found out, when you're pasting an image, you have to decide where you're going to have it as you're pasting it. So I have a little more room up here in the corner, and then I can size things up. So I'm going to go press on the legend right here, copy that. Image layer, paste image, and there it is, a little too big. It shouldn't be bigger than the title. And I'll put that down over here. And so it says Modern Day High School, room 705, table 2. It should have also said Santa Ana, California. So make note that if you're using the school, you do have to specify where the school is located. Just by saying the city, that would be good. You can turn off the grid if you would like, but when you export this as a picture, it doesn't include the grid. So I'll hit the export button, export this as an image, and save the image to your camera roll. And there's my image. Pretty easy, straightforward. If you had a complicated scene, this probably wouldn't be the tool to use, but I think it will work great for our rough draft and final draft.